can join us. I am just going to quickly show you how to use a reusable silkscreen transfer, and this happens to be the Chalk Couture 12-inch round frame. It's the gold colored frame. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to do this and what tools you really need to have. Our chalk transfers come in a plastic bag, and on the back of every bag it tells you how to use your transfer and how to care for it. Now they do come on a backing sheet. The backing sheet is glossy on one side and matte on the other side. So what I recommend doing is writing the transfer name on the back of it for two reasons. It tells you which side to put the transfer back on, but it also makes sure that you have a backing sheet for each of your transfers, because you can use them. You can use them for bits and pieces of transfer, so you may have backings for more of your transfers. Okay, so what you do is you peel your transfer off your backing. I'm going to cut this one because it's actually got some flowers, and then it's got some centers of the flowers, which I may not have time to do during this video. So I'm just peeling the transfer off, and I want to show you, it is self-adhesive. It's really sticky. But I don't know if you can see there's silk screen, and that helps prevent the chalk from going everywhere. Now this is a brand new transfer. I'm going to use it on a Chalk Couture Surface, which isn't fabric. If I used it on fabric, I wouldn't have to do the next step. What I need to do is take a little bit of the stickiness off the transfer, because you don't want the transfer pulling up the surface, and you also want to be careful when you pull your transfer off that you're not stretching it. So I'm going to use the fuzzing mat. If you don't have a fuzzing mat, that's okay. You can use a towel, or in a pinch, you can even use your shirt. So we do sell these. They're really nice. Their fuzzing mats are really nice. And on the other side is a velour, which is really nice to dry. But if you're getting started and you just want to kind of see if you like it, I wouldn't recommend going out and buying everything that we have. So anyway, here is the surface. It's a Chalk Couture Surface, so I don't need to wax it. If you're using something that you find elsewhere at a department store, or a board that you've painted, I would recommend using a finishing wax. I use the Minwax finishing wax just to protect the surface, so that your transfer doesn't pull up the paint or whatever. Now, when you're using a surface, you need to make sure that however you're going to hang it is at the top. I've done it before where I've put the transfer on upside down, and then I had to take the screws out of it to change it over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this transfer on my surface, and I'm just going to flatten it out to make sure that there are no bubbles, because when you have bubbles, especially in the silk screen, your transfer, your chalk paste is not going to go on very nicely. Okay, so as you can see, there it is. It's nice and flat. Don't worry that it doesn't fit perfectly flat on the surface. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm just worried about, oh, you know what? Looking at it this way, it looks like it's not quite. It would have been turned just a little bit. So I'm just going to move it up a little bit so that my flowers are all on there. And again, I'm just going to make sure. I was trying to do it so that you could see it kind of the way that it's in the camera. Anyway, so chalk paste comes in jars. They also come in singles. We have a lot of new colors with singles. Now my chalk paste, the chalk paste should be the consistency of yogurt, Greek yogurt. So this is a little bit thick, so I'm just going to add some distilled water to it. And I'm just going to stir it around with the multi-tool. This is, again, a tool that you don't have to have right at the very beginning. It is nice because it has an end for some smaller, if you want to use it for smaller areas. But again, popsicle stick or whatever would suffice to stir your paste. I am a very frugal crafter. I don't like to spend a lot of money if I don't have to. So anyway, we have different size squeegees. The squeegees are silicone and there's a little bit of bend to them. And they're what we use to put the chalk paste on. Now, I like getting a package of 12 because if I use more than one color, then I don't have to clean off my colors every time. So, with no more ado, I'm just going to put the chalk paste on the leaves. You put it on and then you take the excess off. Unless you're mixing colors, which I'm not going to be doing right now, you can put any leftover chalk paste back in your jar. Now, if you're mixing colors, I think I got a little bit of a lump here in my chalk paste, but that's okay. I can move it off. Okay, so I'm just going to do the green. And it's really quick, really easy. And I'm going to take off the excess. And I'm going to put it back in my jar. Okay, so the flowers I want to do in a coral pink. Oh, here again, my chalk paste is thickened up a little bit. That's okay. I'm just going to put some distilled water in it. Now, Chalk Couture does sell spray bottles. I didn't have to have the teal one, and I wanted it fast. So I went to a beauty supply store, and I bought a Fine Mist sprayer there. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water. And just keep stirring it around. Just a little bit thick, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water. Now, our chalk paste is washable, so I don't know if you noticed, but I got a little bit on the table. That's okay. I can wash it off. Now, should I want to use this sign outside, where it would get rain on it, what I could do to make it permanent is I could spray it with a clear sealant. I like to use car clear coat because it doesn't yellow. So now I'm just going to do the flowers in the peach or the coral color. So I'm just going to quickly put it on here. And I'm going to take the excess. Off. Put my chalk paste back into my jar. Now I think what I want to do is use a Couture teal for the letters. And again, this chalk paste is a little bit thick, so I'm just going to stir it around. If your chalk paste is too thick, it will dry too fast, and if it's too thin, it won't work as well either. So now I'm going to take the teal, and I'm going to put it on take off the excess. And because I can, I'm going to add one more color. I have some yellow here, so my yellow's too thick as well. So I'm just going to stir it up. Out the water. There we go. I'm not the cleanest crafter. I'm just going to put the beautiful on. And then comes the fun part. So I just make sure that the chalk paste goes over whatever is white on this transfer, because that's where the silk screen is. That's where your chalk paste is going to go through. It's not going to go through where the green is, or the teal. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe this down. And now is the fun part, the peel and reveal. Now I take the transfer off on two sides, because I'm afraid that I will stretch it. Now to clean the transfer, all I need to do is go put it in my sink. And these are the board erasers. Board erasers I would highly recommend. As you can see, mine is getting a little bit chewed up, but it really takes all the chalk paste off your transfer. And if you're removing it from the surfaces, it will as well. So anyway, I don't know, it's really hard to see here. I'll take another picture of it. But you are beautiful. Don't change. Now, there is a transfer here that has the centers of it. I will put them on. I need to let this dry a little bit before I put them on, because I don't want the colors to be pulled off. And I may put a thin layer of wax on the flowers before I put the centers on. So anyway, very quick and easy project. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want more information, please hop on over to my VIP page. I have regular sales and promotions in there, and some contests and things. If you're interested in getting kind of a monthly surprise in the mail, we do have a Club Couture program, which is $26, and you get a transfer and coordinating chalk pastes, and you also receive a monthly special. This monthly, you get $10 off with every $100 order that you place, and so that is a way to go. If you're interested at all in joining Chalk Couture, right now you can buy the starter kit for $135 and get an array of products to get started right away. Or you could go the $13 route, just buy the business basics and pick which you'd like to choose. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.